Goodness gracious! Gets the bucket, the and one.
And somebody's having fun.
Carolina wins it.
Welcome into Carolina Postgame Live. I'm your host, Marilyn Payne. North Carolina is 4-0 with a 75-61 win versus the Elon Phoenix. The Tar Heels did not look their best in the first half. Another close call against a non-ranked opponent, but the Tar Heels able to put things together in the second half and pull away for a 14-point win tonight. Let's take a look at how they got it done. Elon starts the game on fire. Hunter Woods with his third made three on 3 attempts. He has a Phoenix up by 7 right there. About all that works for UNC early is getting the ball inside. 6 of North Carolina's first 9 points are scored in the paint. Garrison Brooks carrying the load as a veteran for the Tar Heels. But the Phoenix stay hot from long range. That right there, their 5th made shot from behind the arc on 6 attempts, a game-high lead. But North Carolina able to get some continuity on offense. Andrew Platek finishes with the layup, just North Carolina's 2nd made bucket in transition there. Trying it from long range, Christian Keeling makes North Carolina's 2nd made 3 of the game on 9 attempts in the first half, so a struggle there. Cole Anthony gives the Tar Heels their first lead of the game with about 5 minutes to play. Tar Heels trail by 1 at the half. In the second, Leaky Black from long range, his 2nd made 3 of the night. That's only the first time the sophomore has made 2 3-pointers in the same game in his career as a Tar Heel. Armando Bacot, we named him our player of the game on Friday, and he looks just as good, if not better, tonight versus Elon. Cole Anthony in transition dishes it off to his classmate up and under with the layup there. Tar Heels by 7, an 8-0 run for North Carolina out of the break, and they keep it going. Keeling here lighting things up in the second half as well. Cole Anthony outside, down low, Garrison Brooks dominating inside, an interior presence for North Carolina, the theme of the game versus Elon. North Carolina with a huge size advantage, and there's Armando Bacot doing a little bit more of the same. Elon goes on an 8-0 run late, and North Carolina's held scoreless for a little more than 3 points. So it does get down to a double-digit game, but North Carolina is able to pull away to, again, that 14-point win. So let's take a look at tonight's Player of the Game nominees. You saw the bigs taking care of things for the Tar Heels tonight, and Garrison Brooks, our first nominee, finishing when his fellow big cannot. He is 6 of 12 from the floor in this game versus Elon. He scores 14 points. Just 6 rebounds, though. Not necessarily the work that Garrison needs to be putting in on the boards, but he carried his weight with a scoring presence tonight. He returned as North Carolina's leading scorer and rebounder from last season. Tonight, 14 points, 3 assists, and the 6 rebounds. Our second Player of the Game nominee tonight is Cole Anthony, and you didn't see the scoring production from Anthony that we've gotten used to this season. Just 9 points, but 10 rebounds, and most beautifully, 8 assists. You see one of those right there. Here's a look at another. He drops, well, he's gonna go to the basket, you think. No Christian Keeling here with the answer. So he not finding his shot tonight, but able to be productive for North Carolina. A pass first point guard in a role that Cole Anthony hasn't had to play for North Carolina yet. 9 points, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds. For Cole Anthony, our second Player of the Game nominee. Number 3, Armando Bacot. You probably saw this one coming. A big night for the freshman. He scores on 9 of his 14 shot attempts tonight. Team leading 22 points for Bacot and 14 rebounds. North Carolina's only double-double. That's the 2nd game in a row that the freshman big has the opportunity to say that. 22 points, 14 rebounds for Armando Bacot, our third Player of the Game nominee. So I want to introduce you guys to something new that we're doing tonight here on Carolina Postgame Live. If you're watching with us on Facebook right now on the Carolina Athletics page, I want you to get involved with us. So North Carolina's next game will be at the Battle for Atlantis, and the Tar Heels are taking on the Crimson Tide. The last time UNC and Alabama met was in 1992 during the NCAA tournament. I want to know, Who was the leading scorer in that game? If you think you know the answer, again, leave it in the comments section below. We will bring you that answer later in our show. Right now, we're going to tease forward to an inside look at Carolina basketball from the ACC network.
It's got a long way to go, but it's a long, long season.
Come on, you gotta lock in. Ah!
We the grad transfers.
Grad transfers.
So we're gonna pay Roy in honor of Coach Williams.
I'll take that R.
You serious this
Yes.
And it's not about you. It's about that name on the front of your jersey.
When I put on a Carolina jersey, it's a different feeling.
Cole Anthony.
It's surreal.
He is every bit as good as they said he was.
That All Access show, something brand new, again brought to you by the ACC Network this season. Something else new for the Tar Heels, starting the season off with a big ACC win versus Notre Dame. Right now, we're going to send this to the film room. Garrison Brooks and Brandon Robinson discussing some of the high points from a 1-0 ACC start to the 2019-2020 campaign.
Welcome to another edition, another year of Film Room. It's B-Rob.
Garrison.
Let's get into it.
So normal play.
Got a little B1 action.
Just pass from Cole.
Hey, we worked on that all season, you know what I'm saying? I taught my man how to finally do a jump hook. He been slacking on that, so I had to get him in the gym
Thanks, B-Rob.
and work with him a little bit. I'm the best post player on the team. Oh, chicken basket. Come here. Oh, good pass. Hey!
Pass Cole. That's a good thing about Cole, man. Like, he see the flow well, and he has like a bunch of attention on him. He don't mind passing the ball.
I'm gonna tell you something wrong with this play. We get to the end of it. Run it back.
Right now, pause.
Garrison did not screen. And he finally pointed to the passer.
I'm
He's growing up now.
No. I'm not the screener. I'm not the four in this.
I said screen.
Oh, screen. Oh,
Some people just can't hear.
ain't my fault. You know, that's coming soon, though.
It's a great pass.
I'm being nice. I wanted to, though.
It's a great pass.
Yeah, for sure.
He got that from me, though. He's been in my book a lot.
Really. Yeah, this is Garrison Brooks signing off Film Room, Season 2, Episode 1.
And we out.
All right, well, I look forward to hearing just how many of Cole Anthony's assists, those nice passes, that Brandon Robinson believes were taken from his book in tonight's performance. Right now, we're going to take a look around the country at some of our out-of-town scores. We'll start first by taking a look at the ACC teams in action. Florida State handling Chattanooga, Boston College picking up a 4-point win, Georgia dominating Georgia Tech, though. We're going to go downstairs to Roy Williams, who's live in his post-game press conference.
But luckily we didn't. But we're taller, have more size, more gifts than they do, and that was the bottom line of the game. I think that first half we did not play well. We were played not very intelligently early in the second half. All of a sudden now we're running, we're defending a little bit, and we're shooting over 50% for maybe the first 10 minutes of the second half, and then we went brain dead again. But where we are, 4-0, but I told them big leagues are starting right now. We're more gifted, more blessed than Elon was. Their guys outplayed us, outcoached us in the first half, but the stuff starts now that every game, if we play poorly, we're going to lose. And I think they've got to understand that. I gave them the best news. I asked them if any of them could guess the best news, and Shea Rush got it just like that. And he said, "We don't get to see you tomorrow." And I said, "That's right. That's the best news I can give you, because tomorrow's off and I'm going recruiting." But we really made a bunch of mistakes. And in the second half, like I say, the first 8 or 10, Kirsch may have a better viewpoint of it, because I never look at the time on the clock and don't look at the score very often. But I thought early in the first half we were really good, and then all of a sudden we quit playing again. But Armando, 22 and 14, I told him he could have had 28 or 30 because he was just soft around the basket a couple of times. But what you really like as a freshman to have 22 and 14 and play about 75% of the game. And so that was good. Cole was not good tonight. Garrison and Armando, they're 15 for 26, and the rest of the team was, what did we say, 14 for 42. So we got to get smarter. Other than that, not much to say.
Called a timeout about 2 minutes plus into
Yeah,
the game.
earliest one in my history, I'm sure. Doesn't have a lot of competition though either. No, we were stupid. Come on. I mean, the first day of practice this summer, first day, we ran regular secondary break, and the guy in the corner comes up and sets the rear screen. Yesterday was 35, 36 practice yesterday, 40 practices. We've done that every day. Every day. The guy forgets to do it. And so then we did something else. It was sort of silly. And I just wanted to scream so I'd feel like I was getting something done.
You said Cole wasn't good tonight. What does it say about how talented he is for him not to be so good in your eyes, but a point and 2 assists away from the 3rd triple-double in school history?
I don't look at the stats hardly, but guys, 4 for 14 and 4 turnovers. That's not what Cole Anthony can be. My standards are very high for Cole because I think Cole can be fantastic. But one time I called a set play, and he tried to go on his own, tried to split a double team, and guess what? It was a turnover. And then down at the end, the guy comes up behind him, slaps it out. It's another turnover. Tried to go split a double team across from the bench. It was a turnover. You know, and I've seen some really good players, and he's got a chance to be one of the best I've ever seen. But also know when good players stink, and that was about it, about half the game tonight. Now, he competes like crazy, so he's always going to do some good things to help you. And I mean, what'd you say, 10 rebounds? Yeah, he's such a competitive kid. He's also always going to do some things to help you. But tonight wasn't one of his best nights.
Did you make it a point to Armando to step it up in the second half?
I made it a point for every team, every guy on my team. He listened. No, he didn't listen better, but he was more effective for us.
How's Armando changed his body and his game since you first saw him in high school?
A great change in his body. He went to IMG last year and did a great job in the weight room, worked extremely hard. His body changed over dramatically. I saw him play like as a sophomore, summer after his sophomore year in high school, and started recruiting him and thought he had a chance to be a big-time player. And he's going to get better. He needs to get better. He needs to get where he makes more shots, makes more free throws and things like that. But no, his body is much different than it was 3 years ago. I mean, it's all to his credit. It's all sweat. It's what it is.
Seems like he's pretty aggressive in the paint too. I mean, he's looking to score.
Yeah, he wants to shoot it. Does he have an assist yet? So being aggressive can be good. But I think he did have a nice bounce pass. I think did he have an assist?
He had,
two.
He had two.
Two. Yeah, no, he's when it feels like leather, he shoots it.
Well, you seem more disappointed with the effort or the execution against Gardner-Webb than tonight. Is it just kind of?
No, I'm more pissed tonight, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to put up a good front. Yeah. I'm tired of you guys saying he's never happy. And during the timeout, I said, Garrison, have you seen me happy during the game before? He said, yes, sir. I have been, and it's easy. Play well, then I'm happy. But no, we were not good.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Coach Schrage will be in if enough of you stick around. If you all go to the locker room, then he'll probably do it.
Cole Anthony, Carolina's season-leading scorer, getting the brunt of a coach who says he can be happy, but his team hasn't given him as much of a reason this season yet to be happy as he wants. On Friday, it was Armando Bacot getting the brunt of the frustration. Tonight, a more pleased Roy Williams. Adam Lucas again joins Armando Bacot in the locker room for a post-game conversation.
Another double-double for Armando Bacot tonight. Armando, we got the very rare Roy Williams timeout 2 minutes into the game in that game. What was the message at that point in time?
Well, I mean, we just came out flat and we wasn't playing hard. And, yeah, as you said, Coach, he does not like calling timeouts. He always says he wants to finish the game with as many timeouts as he needs, but we just needed to come out there and play harder, and that's what Coach told us, and we came out playing a little bit harder.
Even the rest of the first half wasn't great, but then second half starts out with an 8-0 run. What was the difference in the second half as compared to the first?
We just came out the locker room and said we're done playing with him. Like, we've been getting slow starts every game, and it's definitely something we're going to put an emphasis on. Just our leaders, B-Rob and G's, just been talking about it just now, and we just know we got to go out there playing harder. But second half, we always come out focused and just ready to go.
You finished with 22 and 14. The last time we talked to you after your previous double-double, you didn't think that was one of your best performances. What did you think tonight?
Still not one of my best performances. I feel like I left a lot of stuff on the board, but just me listening to Coach has been making a huge difference. I mean, when Coach recruited me, he's told me everything, and everything's just come to life, so, yeah.
What kind of progress are you making as a shot blocker? You had 3 blocks tonight, including one on the break. What have you learned in that area?
I would say just shot blocking is one of my best qualities, and just in the first game, I was just a little timid, just kind of scared to come over just in case my man would get the ball, but I just had to trust my teammates knowing they would have my backside help, and that's been opening up the different blocks for me and things like that.
This was one of the better offensive rebounding performances of the year. 18 offensive rebounds as a team, got almost 50% of the misses. What worked better on the offensive glass?
We practice it every day. If the boards aren't covered, you're running a 33. So we know we got to get to that offensive glass.
Coach Williams has talked a lot this week about attention to detail. What specifically is he talking about, and how was that performance-wise tonight?
Yeah, well, a main thing we've been trying to put an emphasis on is offensive rebounding. And I feel like we did a good job of that, but just the scouting report, I knew my man was heavy left shoulder, so I had to take away the right hook from him. But just the whole scouting report Coach Fred had for us, we knew we had to follow it. And we kind of was shaky at the beginning, but I feel like the second half we did a good job of following it.
There's a week now until the Tar Heels are back on the court again down in the Bahamas. Where can this team get better between now and then, especially offensively?
Offensively, just not being so stagnant and just trying to get everybody involved. I mean, Cole's a great player, but we can't keep relying on him late clock to just make a play. We all need to just be unselfish and just try to make a play.
That's Armando Bacot with another double-double.
And Armando Bacot saying, no, that's still not his best game. He feels he left something out on the court tonight, but it was a game that it was good enough for us to name him as player of the game for the second consecutive game. Armando Bacot dominating down low. Nice dish from Cole Anthony. And 2 points there. Armando finishes with 22 points and 14 rebounds. The second double-double for the freshman in really 3 games after being hurt and missing much of 1. Armando Bacot is our Carolina Postgame Live player of the game with 22 points and 14 rebounds, his second consecutive double-double. Now we have the answer to our Tar Heel trivia question for you tonight. And you see the answer right there. Hubert Davis had 16 points in the 64-55 Carolina win. That was the last time that North Carolina played Alabama. They will be North Carolina's next opponent this season. That was in the 1992 NCAA tournament. Hubert Davis with 16 points in a 64-55 UNC win. And I want to give a shout out to one of the viewers on our Facebook page, Matthew Gaskill. Got that question right. He named Hubert Davis as the Tar Heel trivia leading scorer last time Carolina and Alabama played. Again, that game was played in 1992 in the NCAA tournament. Alabama and North Carolina meeting in the Battle for Atlantis tournament next time North Carolina takes the court. Now we have Adam Lucas. You see him here in studio with me for his rapid reactions. Adam, thank you for joining me. A much more pleased Armando Bacot tonight with his performance, but when you look at the team as a whole and the number of points they scored in the paint, how did you see them do that so well?
Well, Carolina had a huge size advantage, and as Coach Williams likes to say, more gifted and talented than Elon in the paint. So you would expect the Tar Heels to have the advantage in the paint. Last game, when we talked to Armando Bacot, he was giving himself somewhere in the C range. I think he was a little more pleased today, but he said it was still not his very best performance, which, what a great sign when you've got a true freshman who gets 22 and 14, and he still thinks he can do a little better. So Armando, certainly one of the bright spots on overall, kind of a C night for the Tar Heels, in all honesty.
Yeah, Elon leads by 1 at halftime after leading by as many as 9 points in the first half. To see this North Carolina team come together for really the second time in a row and rally out of halftime, an 8-0 run tonight. It was something similar on Friday. What does that teach us about this year's North Carolina team?
Well, you heard Armando say in the interview that it had been Garrison Brooks and it had been Brandon Robinson who had told the team at halftime, this is not how we play. And they came out, went on the 8-0 run, played a little more crisp in the second half. Still a ton of work to be done. Carolina's not clicking offensively. This is the first time in the Roy Williams era that they have not scored at least 80 points in any of the first 4 games. They haven't shot 50% from the field in any of the first 4 games. There's a lot of work to be done offensively, and they're just not doing some basic things like when Armando Bacot's open in the post or Garrison Brooks is open in the post, throw him the ball. Instead of saying, well, maybe we can get a 17-foot jumper out of this, throw the ball inside. That's going to be an area of emphasis in the next week or so of practice.
Yeah, so Cole Anthony's scoring responsibility seems to cover up some of the offensive issues, but it sounds like communication, and it looks like communication is going to be something that continues to come together for this team when you evaluate the needs that they have on communication, the need that they have to be better free throw shooters if they step to the line, and really the turnover problem that North Carolina continues to have. How do you see those three issues being things that North Carolina can solve, and what do you kind of guess the order is that they can take those down?
I think the communication and the turnovers go hand in hand, especially some of those first half turnovers where the Tar Heels were just kind of chucking the ball out of bounds. That's just not knowing where a teammate is going to go. You got to remember Brandon Robinson's not out there, and he will make a difference in both of those categories because he knows how to play the way Roy Williams wants him to play. He knows where to go when the ball's being inbounded under the basket with 22 seconds on the shot clock. That's going to help a lot. The idea was perhaps he would get a few minutes tonight to then be ready for the Bahamas. He was limited in practice Monday and Tuesday, so the thought was maybe better cautious than sorry. So hopefully he'll be back in the Bahamas. That'll help a ton. And maybe at some point you also get Anthony Harris back, which that would help, or really you'd get him for the first time. He hasn't been out there yet. So there are still some pieces that aren't quite out there yet that I think will help. The Tar Heels don't have the roster they thought they would have at this point in time.
Don't have the roster that they thought they would have. They probably don't have the roster that they wish they had right now, but they do have the record that they want, and that's 4-0 after the first 4 games of the season for North Carolina. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We will see you back here on Carolina Post Game Live after the Ohio State game on December 4th. Until then, good night.
Home, business, farm, life, and retirement.
Claytech, the lob, Baycott, the finish. Bounce pass to Brooks for the two-handed finish. Wide open triple, yes sir. Keeling left side, the lob to Anthony for the finish.